Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday, and it's a 3-day weekend. So we will not be doing a webinar on Monday because no markets are open. I guess there's some currency open, but we're closed on Monday. There's just no real data or charts to look at really. So that's how it rolls. All right, let's take a look at it. There's the dollar index. You can see it's moving down a little bit today, but still in the buy. 5 days in a buy because we see we a green dot there, even with it moving down. So chances are it's still in that daily buy today. And you can see 3 weeks in a sell. Now let's go over to the other platform and see how it looks there. And let's see. There we go. Switch it over to here. See the same situation. It's moving down, but the histogram is still plus. The green line's above the zero line. Just holding on very comfortably. So there is, I think I mentioned this yesterday, and that is that the traders are still expecting a 50 plus chance of one cut now. They're still looking for one cut. I guess, Mr. Biden has told him, I'm king, you will cut. And the bigger question is that how, when I thought about this morning, and I've talked about it many times throughout webinars, throughout all the years I've done webinars, about how Wall Street never wanted to wreck the brand name of America. And I'm going to emphasize that clear. America is supposed to be a great place to do business. Everybody follows the laws. There's opportunity to deal with challenges. Taking equity away from people is very hard. And then the Democrats get out of their minds. And now they use government agencies to attack people. Courts with like-minded judges that the laws are being broken, and they will be adjusted because that's the way America works. But in the meantime, people being challenged and equity being taken and some people being locked up and businesses being punished, and all because they disagree with the party in power. That's really what it comes down to. And we've seen where Mr. Biden has taken in millions upon millions, tens of millions of dollars in bribery, and the media just refuses to even talk about it. And they have the audit trails, they found the money, the whole bit, and when the media keeps on saying, like 75% of the media keeps on saying there's no proof. But what I'm getting down to in the end result is that they're destroying the brand name. And there was another article today about, they're just people, different countries are moving away from the dollar and trying to, do settlements in other means, be it gold or other currencies, but they're moving away from the dollar. And then, the biggest crazy that's been going on for the last 5 weeks is this crazy indictment of Mr. Trump, which makes no sense at all. They've broken no laws, and they can't even. The Constitution says you have to be able to tell a person what crime you've committed before you can be indicted, but not Mr. Trump. They say there's 3 possible crimes he's committed, possible crimes, but they won't label them. So you can see where I'm going with this is that they're wrecking the brand name for politics. And they don't realize, unfortunately, the socialists in our government don't understand that you can't keep on borrowing money forever and not paying it back or rolling it over. And they just don't get it. They think you can borrow forever. That's why they've spent over $7 trillion in the last 3 years. It's like, wow. Just an explosive situation for nothing. The COVID thing was over with. Everything was done. The society was back at work. Mr. Trump got it back to work. Stock markets came back to all-time highs. The whole bit. And then Mr. Biden wins, and they start acting like as if we're in a disaster again and spending trillions. And we're losing the brand name. That's what it comes down to. They're wrecking the brand name. And every time I see an article about the dollar, it really makes me nervous because that's all they talk about is that more countries are trying to move away from dollar settlement. And the socialists in our country just don't appreciate that risk. So, all right, let's get moving along. Let's see, where else are we at? All right, so that's the dollar index. You can see it up on the screen. You can see here it is trying to bounce a little bit, but nothing major. And it is in a daily buy, but a little weakness today. And they've got to learn. They're wrecking the brand name. Let's take a look at the euro. There's the euro. You can see it's trying to lift up. It's showing strength there. We'll take a look at it on the dollar, on the old platform. There it is. You see right there that upwardly push. You see it's very close to climbing into the buy. We got a red and a green, and we're still in the weekly buy. So we're seeing money move towards the euro again. And it's, we are trapped in this political chop, I guess you could call it. That's the way it looks like to me. It's a political chop because everybody's waiting. Mr. Trump was in, where was he at? He was in the Bronx yesterday. And, boy, he, lit up the crowd, and there was a big crowd there, and, just he talked about policies and money and, work and all the positive things that makes America grow. And we're all sitting here watching that Mr. Biden doesn't believe in any of it. That's the problem. So, again, I'm really concerned about the brand name at this point. And I can tell you, I can remember when I was young, they would say, Fed can't do too much because it would wreck the brand name. They would think we're being frivolous, that we're overspending, that we're being irresponsible, we're abusing. And Wall Street, back in those days, chose not to do that. And today's times, we have a political class, the socialists that are running the country now. They don't care. And it's scary. It definitely is scary. And we know that America can grow out of this, but it's very, very disappointing, and that's why you see this sideways chop going on. All right. So there is the euro, and, we see the euro being firm. Let's take a look and see what cable's doing. There's cable. It went into the sell yesterday, finally. And now it's trying to climb back into the buy again. So you see there, it's trying to climb back up, and both are in weekly buys, both the euro and the what do you call it, the cable. And let's take a look at the Swiss. There's Swiss looking the same way, looking firm, and obviously it's going to close in that weekly buy unless there's one massive move today in Swiss. There we are. Let's save that like so. And that's the Swiss. And you can see, 6 days in a buy, and you can see the one back climbing back into that weekly buy. I don't think it can get too much further up, but it's become very clear that whereas the euro is gaining against the dollar and the cable's gaining against it, the Swiss is not. I mean, the last 3 days have been sideways, going nowhere particular, but I mean, overall, still higher. So, and we always look at the Swiss as like a canary in the coal mine. It usually kind of gives us a good flavor of risk when it comes to earnings and inflation, and it's definitely definitely something to watch. So, the fact that it's trying to climb up to the 6-month high, is a little disturbing, but nothing bad. I think everything's under control there in Switzerland. All right, and then from there, we head over to the yen. I want to open up the door here. And let's go check out the yen. And there's the yen, same thing, a little firmness, so it's losing against the dollar. Was an article about the earnings in Europe this morning, and they're waiting for them. In other words, they're expecting a little bit more growth out of Europe, and so far it's not showing up. They're prepped and ready to go, waiting to see it do it. And I guess that's when we go and look around, at all the international indexes, and we get a flavor of their actions. All right, and then from the yen, another week in the buy and the whole bit. It's been in that buy since the 151-ish area. It's going as high as 60, 160, and back to low of 152. But it's climbing it. It's at 157 now. Then from there we go over to the Great Experiment. There it is right there. And it looks like it's pushing itself back into the buy again. That's the Turkish lira against the euro. And we're hoping that it'll start to stay inside this box, not this bigger box. Wouldn't that be nice if it calmed down like that? I mean, that would really help out the population and the inflation, and everybody would be like, okay, at least we're not just rocketing up anymore. You can see now it's been about a good 3 months. So March, April, and now we're heading towards the last week of May. And then from there we zip over to the South African rand. And you can see there rand moving back down a little bit. You can see it's in a buy for the last 3 days. There we are. We just might as well put the other two. Let's just steal them. Where's those arrows at? Right there. So we'll grab that one. Put that cell in right there. And let's move this by over to there. And there's the RAN. And in a weekly sell now for, it's 5 full weeks. And you can see it's moved down nicely through that weekly sell. And when we go and look at the gold contract right there, it's as it went down, gold went up, over that same time period, but then shifted gears over the last 3 days, right along with the South African Rand. These last 3 days moving up. And when it moves up, let's go back to there, gold goes down. And it's flirting with a weekly sell at the same time. It's flirting with that weekly sell. And that is pretty much the name of that game. All right. Let's take a look at silver. I don't see them hurting the silver at this point. I just don't, I think it's gotten into another firm area until further notice. The weekly doesn't seem to care. It's not backing off whatsoever since that low in February at the was that the 22.75 area, $23 area, and now it's going up. Gold has gone up almost 30%. Let's see, 22. Oh wow! I'm hearing the. Let's see. I'm hearing. Wow, seems like delayed. Okay, let's just double check. There you go. Okay, so at this point, looking at silver, I feel comfortable thinking that it's basically built a good support in the 28 to 30 area. Yeah, looks good there. And then from there, we slide over to go to copper. Copper's another one of those where everybody was excited, and it's done some interesting things, that's for sure. It went up over $5 with no problem. And now we're trapped in that 475 area. Back in here, I think it's going to bounce between the 567 area to that for a little bit. And you can see that also been in that buy since the 370, 380 area. And it ran up to 515. So that's pretty strong. Pretty strong. There we are. All right. And that is the copper. And, challenging the manifold here on a weekly basis, but not much more than that. It's not going after zero line, and we'll see how they digest. And you can see the daily has really pushed itself down enormously. It took out that low and that low, and I mean we haven't seen a drop like that in a while. And so I'm not totally bearish. I just figured it'll be, it's in a sell for a few days, and we'll see how it goes next week, and just the whole bit. And then from there, we'll jump over to the platinum. There is platinum. And so there it is right there. It's been falling down all week. It's kind of interesting. Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Monday they slammed it and has not been able to come out of that. And when we go and look at gold again, like right there, gold topped out on, there is Monday, and then Tuesday So the platinum, basically led the way down. Let's just go back to it again right there. There it is, the platinum. And that, to me, just like we look at the Swiss as a canary in the coal mine, we look at the platinum the same way. Like it, could give us much more, hindsight. All right. And then from there, we jump over to crude oil. And there's crude. Yeah, it's been doing the same thing since Monday. Monday was down for the day, but still green in a buy. Tuesday the same way, and then finally Wednesday it went into the sell, and it's swung both directions. And we've been in the weekly sell since the 82.5, 83 area. And at the same time, the sells have been good sells, and a little tough at times, but good sells. Made lower lows, that's for sure. All right. What else can we say about the crude? I guess let's just take a look at it up on the beta, and then we'll move over to Brent from there. And it definitely looks like it's in a sell again for another week. Again, it would take a lot of noise to put it into the buy at this point. I'll show you on the beta. Right there, there's the beta. Whoop. Try it one more time. The beta right there. See, it's been moving down for days. And we're in a, daily and weekly sell. You're looking at 5 full weeks now in the sell. From there, we'll go over to Brent. And there's Brent. Looking the same way, even weaker in many ways. And you can see here, it's just pressing down. It didn't bounce the way the West Texas Intermediate bounced. It definitely showed, definitely wrecking the West Texas stayed kind of sideways down, but the North Sea oil itself is wrecking that trend. It's making new lows. You can see that right there. Are we doing the same thing with crude? The crude, yeah, basically the same. We're trying to take out the lows. And there's Brent again, and you can see, just a little bit. I don't know. It just seemed like it dropped Brent a little bit more. Yep. All right. From there, let's go take a look at natural gas. Right there. And yesterday they put it into the sell. You see that right there. That's the sell there, and this is the second day in the sell now, and this just hasn't updated yet. And you can see it's been in that weekly buy for 5 weeks now. Let's check it out over here. There it is. You can see the same thing. Went into a sell yesterday. It's going in there today with no problem. And the histogram is moving further south than yesterday on the daily. And the weekly, you can see it. We've been very solidly in a buy for 4 weeks. The fast has been in a solid buy for something like 8 weeks. Back, you can see it here on the beta. Went into the buy on the April 29th. I guess it was like really April 27th, but that's the Friday. April 29th is the Monday. It doesn't reflect that. We're very close to getting that fixed. So I think less than 2 weeks will be all running. All right, so that's the natural gas. Now what we'll do is we'll take a peek at the energy company down in Spain, that's been parked on the 25 for a while now. Oh, look at that. They put a little more pressure on it. Nice. So it went into the buy yesterday after 5 days in a sell, but it's in a weekly buy, so you can't really play the short side. And now it's jumped into the buy today, I guess it is, on this case. No, that's yesterday. That's yesterday, the 23rd, and that is, let's just do that, like that. So it went down into this, pushed itself into a buy, but we had a red dot. Now today, it's trying to turn up. So we'll see how they go. Maybe they move over to the 25 area again. Do they go higher? Do they make a challenge? We're really waiting to see Europe pick up economically. That's what we're really waiting for. And that's what Europe needs. There was a good article about that today. Let me see if I can find that article. I even saved it. Let me go hunt right there. We'll leave that up there for the time being with natural gas, and let's go see if we can find that article, because it makes me think about things that normally I'm not thinking about. I always think, okay, yeah, Europe will follow along, but sometimes maybe not. All right, now let's go over to right there. I think this is the one. Yeah, reality check looms for rosy European growth expectations. Okay, we'll put that up on the screen for you. Right there. You see here, they're looking for manufacturing numbers. They're looking for things that start to confirm strength. And you can see here, European cyclical relative to earnings growth. And you can see it's more on the downside than the upside. There's markets have, and they usually do too. They always look ahead. And then what happens is that if you don't get that anticipation, actually, the proof of the anticipation, the proof is in the price or the earnings, that type of thing. Then they'll sell it off. Now, yesterday they sold the U.S. stock market down a couple percentage points. It wasn't that bad. S&P 500 and NASDAQ, the Tech 100 was nowhere near as sold off like that. So, that's the direction we're seeing here, is that Europe needs to start joining in, and I don't know if they can, just solely because of, the newer European community, the old Eastern Bloc is doing a fine job, but they can't carry Germany and France and Spain. They can't carry the old countries. The best they can do is try to keep on reminding them that socialism was a disaster, and that every time they try to emulate it, they only hurt people, not help people. So that's the hope, I guess, is that they will see some proof. Like it says here, technically the picture isn't worrying yet during the consolidation phase. Day by day, technical analysis shows that the Stokes 600 has opened 3 gaps on the way. We should try to get that index on there. The Stokes 6. Let's do that. Let's make a copy of that, and we'll put that in there. Up to 525. This analyst notes that the most recent one has been closed, and the index came to a halt, even though U.S. indexes made new highs. So, how can it fall? Gastedly notes that that's the analyst, that a drop down to the 514 would hurt would bear no consequences for the trend. Should prices fall below that level, we would have to assume that the index is correcting either the trend stated in January or the one started in the end of October. She says for the time being though, the trends remain bullish, though the correction could extend some 2% below current prices. No, we saw 2% yesterday in the United States. So, just thought, to inform. What do we got from here? So from there, let's go back to, let's see, where's that mouse at? Right there. And I'm going to put that stock indice in because I want to, let's see, where is it at? Was it the Stokes? Let's see if we can find it. There it is. There it is. iShares DEI. iShares Stokes 600 food and beverage. Let's see. DE. Interesting. Let's see. Let's take a look at a 5-year of that. Looks good. And this thing's trading at, now I'm a little confused because it keeps on showing me other things. iShares DE, iShares Stokes Europe 600. Let's try that. See if we can get a better symbol on that. iShares Stokes UCITS ETF. And this says $52. Now they're talking about $500. Let's see if we can find. Let's see, markets. And let's see if we can find something like that. That we got to get the symbol on that. Markets, world indices. Let's see. Don't really see it, but I'd really like to have that one. We'll have to chase after that. Singapore Straits Times. Ooh, I think I found something. It says, now this is at 5,014. That sounds almost the same. Down 22. So, let's see. I think this might be it. Let's see if we can get that up on the screen. Alright, so that's what that is. Alright, let's try that. And we'll show you what we're looking at. Right there. That's it right there, the Stokes. And let's look at the 1 year in that. So it's just like a 10-time thing. I guess that's what it is. So they're actually challenging that 514 as we speak. Because that was written yesterday. Alright, let's see. An add. And then get rid of that. And open this. This is very interesting. It's a way of looking at Europe where we don't usually have a chance to. I mean, we see 3 indices, and I really feel like I need more than 3 indices. ESTX, I think that's it, isn't it? Yep, that's it. All right. Let's see if we can put this thing in there and see if it works. Copy. And let's put that ticker in. All right, let's see what happens. All right, here we go. That's it. So you can see there, the product. Let's make sure we're seeing this on the screen. All right, so you can see here, it's been moving down, and at the same time, yesterday it was heading for the weekly, and you can see the fast has broken the zero line right there. And I'd imagine what they must break this thing up into, like a 10 lot, divide 500 and something into it, and so it must be like the mini index. So in other words, 514. Let me just make this bigger so you can see it over the last 5 days. You see here, we're at the what is that? That is at 517 with a low of 4,991. So we broke it, but yet today it closed at 517, or it's still trading. So it's just above that 514 area, 5,014 area. It's trying to base off of that. And that's a look inside the European marketplace itself. I like that. All right. So, where did we leave off? We've finished off the metals. We finished off the energies. And now we're getting a better view of Europe. Because if Europe doesn't climb out of this, we know China can't climb out of it. So, and right now the fastest growing economy in the world is India. So you don't hear anybody talking about India. Let's go over to Europe. I'm sorry. Let's go to the Pacific. See how. Where is it at? Let's take a look at the Nikkei. We saw where the currency was moving up a little bit still. You see there, it's up a little bit, but we're in 3 days of a sell as we speak. And the weekly is very close. This is yesterday. So tomorrow, on Saturday, we'll see, or Sunday, we'll see if it has broken into the weekly sell. From there, we'll go over and look at the Kospi, and we've seen that same weakness over there too. And you can see days and days and weeks in sells at this point, making more lows. And at the same time, it has climbed into the weekly sell yesterday. And since it's down today, chances are it stayed in there. That's odds are it hasn't changed. From there, we move over to Taiwan. I understand that the Chinese are irritating them again. I heard that the new president said, "We're not fearful of you. We can deal with you." About time someone told him that. Where is it at? There it is right there. There's the Taipei index. Taipei is a second day in a buy, and it is a sixth week in a buy. So it's been climbing and climbing, and it's yesterday made highs, and today it's heading back up there. They opened it down and have taken it almost back to unchanged. So more than likely, that's easily a third day in a buy there. From there, we jump over to Shanghai. right there. Shanghai, for all the saber rattling, they're selling. The market's being sold down there. You can see it went into the sell yesterday. It's definitely in the sell today for 2 days, and you can see the weekly has moved into the weekly sell at the same time. So now they've gone right where we talked about this. Let's see, right there, that platform or resistance area right there is right there in the 3100, and it's broken underneath it on the close today. Hong Kong, let's see what they're doing in Hong Kong. Oh, no. From there we go to the Philippines. Did we do that? Here we go to the Philippines. Well, we can do this. We'll go like this. We'll go to Hong Kong, and then from Hong Kong we'll go to the Philippines, and then the Singapore Straits Times. There's the Hang Seng. It's been in the sell for 4 days now. Pressing down. And obviously the fact that, let's just do this, you can see right here, Hong Kong was down today, and you can see it's down for the 4th day here without the filling in yet. And the weekly is holding up. It is holding up at the moment. We'll see. That was a decent drop. So this is going to be a very close horse race. We'll see on Monday how that's doing. All right. From there, we slide over to Philippines. And there it is, the Philippines. And you can see there, it was up. That's interesting. And you can see yesterday it went into the buy. It couldn't get into the buy because of the red. We just go like that. That's last week. And you can see it tried to climb up, but was still in the red. You can see the histogram went into the more plus than negative. And now today, if it's still plus, it will be in a buy. And then you can see here, that is flirting with the weekly sell also. So this is going to be a very close race. We'll see on Sunday, going into Monday, how it played out. And then from there we go to the Singapore Straits Times. Right there. You see that's been in a buy for 4 days. Very firm. I just want to do that and see if we can figure out. So there's 24, 23, 22, 20. Oh. Where he closed on 22, maybe. And you can see there. So it's been in a buy. Could be 5 days at this point. And weekly is not letting go either. You're looking at full 6 weeks in a buy. All right, that completes like the Pacific, really, all the way down to New Guinea and all. Let's go to the all ordinaries out of Australia. We'll start to go into the Indian Ocean, where we'll look at that in India itself with the Nifty 50. Right there. You see it pushed itself into the sell yesterday and went in and out. Let's see what the weekly is, but it's in a weekly buy, so it's telling you not to play the sell side yet. Now, this is yesterday, so we'll have to wait and see what they did. We can see this is already down more today than it was yesterday. So there's pressure on this on the daily. And then the Nifty 50. Let's see. There it is right there. Look at that. Another new all-time high today, or it was very close at one point. It broke out above. It's been in the daily buy for 8 full days. Weekly buy for 2 full weeks. So, again, one of the fastest, or the fastest growing economy in the world. All right. Now, from there, we march our way over to Europa. Let's see what the DAX is up to this morning. There's the DAX. DAX has been in the daily sell for 3 days now, it looks like. Yep, 3 days there. And at the same time, we're in a weekly buy, so it's kind of like a neutral. It's trapped up in here. Maybe it's going to support this 18,600 area and then start to turn back up again. Let's see. From there, we let's go look at that Stoke 5,000 or 50, Stoke 50, I guess it is. And you can see here, that's been in the sell for 6 days now, and it's flirting with the weekly sell as we speak. So we'll see tomorrow how it filled in for today. And then, let's see. Let's take a look at the FTSE. Oh no, let's go to CAC 40, the Paris exchange. It's around here somewhere. There it is. Right there, you can see it's been in the daily sell for 7 days. 7 days now. And it went into the weekly sell last week, so it was a fine sale. And then we'll look at FTSE, who's been flirting off and on with the all-time highs. You can see here it's been in a daily sell now for 6 full days. And the weekly has not fallen into that sell yet. So there we go. All right. There we are. And that's about it for the continent. Now we'll just go back over to the good old US of A. Let's hope our brand hasn't been totally destroyed yet. Hopefully Mr. Trump will get in and clean up the mess. Mess in aisle 5. All right, we've got a second day in a sell, but we're still in weekly buys. That's the S&P 500. Over on the NASDAQ 100, or the Tech 100, same situation in the daily sell for a second day, and we've been in a weekly buy for 3 weeks. Then over there with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, you can see in a daily sell for 5 days. And let's see what else we got here. You can see, what is it right there? We're 4 weeks in a buy. So it just told you to take profits up here in the 4,000 area, and now we're in the 39,000 area. So that's pretty much the name of the game there. Now, let me think. I should tell Janos that I am not doing a webinar on Monday since our markets are totally closed. So it makes it tough. And also I've come up with a title. Our title is going to be Wrecking American Brand Name. That's the title for it today. And let's go to right there. We'll do webinar on Monday. USA is closed for Memorial Day. There we are. There we go. All right. So that's pretty much what we've been looking at. Now we can go take a quick look, like at sugar, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to look and see if I could find coffee. Let's see what the coffee is. We could do sugar, coffee, cotton, and cocoa. That would be kind of neat. we really never did that until we had the beta. Now the beta allows us to do that. So let's go take a look at that. So there is coffee. No, that's not it. Wrong place. Let's go like that again and search. There it is. And it would be interesting to see the softs. You know, we haven't looked at coffee. We do have sugar on there. That's interesting. Coffee July. Let me see what the front month is. That could be the front month too. That's a really good possibility there. We'll tell you in a second. Green City. And we'll go take a look and see. Coffee. Huh. No volume at all. That's really weird. No open interest. Alright, let's see what we can find on the... Now they got coffee there. So let's take that and we'll put it in and see if it comes up. Copy. And that would be very interesting. Here it'll put sugar up there for the time being, and then we'll go from sugar to coffee, and then from coffee to maybe cocoa or cotton. People trade those things, and it's kind of nice to be able to put our math to it. We haven't been able to do that in a couple of years. So there is sugar. You see sugar is down at the lows. You know, this is international sugar, I guess. So it was up to 23, and now we're trading at 18. And you can see we've been in a weekly sell now for 9 whole weeks. Let's see right there. There we are. Let's see what happens there. Let's give it a refresh. And let's see if coffee jumps in. Yeah, that looks like coffee to me. You can see we've been in a weekly sell for 4 weeks. And interesting, it's trying to push into the daily sell today. And you know, it was went into the weekly sell in at 4, like the end of April. So the end of April is right here. So it went into the sell. Let's see if we can find out exactly where. Somewhere's around in here, up in the 223 area. 220. No, it might be. Let's do this. Let's make this even bigger, like that. So up in the 230 area, we went into the weekly sell, and have been in a weekly sell ever since. And it was in a daily sell. Look at that, for a long while. A couple days in a daily buy right here, and then back into a daily sell again. Went into the daily buy here for, I guess, about 5 or 6, like 6 days. And, you know, it just flirted around with it. Now, you can see right here. Let's make that bigger like that. You see it went into the sell on the 17th. Right there. For a day or two. Is that it? That's the 17th, I think. And... here's the 17th. Went into a sell there. It was sideways for a couple days, and then went back into the buy. So you're not short anymore. And now it's trying to get into the short there today. So we'll see how that goes. That's coffee. Let's see if we can get cotton. I want to see what cotton looks like. Let's do this. So that's pretty cool. Then cotton. Let's see what cotton says. July cotton. Let's take a look at it here. So let's see what July cotton looks like. Copy. And There we are. And here comes cotton. Let's give it a wake-up call. Refreshing it. And there's cotton. Let's see what that looks like. Woo! Look at that. It's been in a weekly buy now 2 weeks. That looks very good after 8 weeks in a sell. And it went into the daily buy 6 days ago back in here. So it went from 75 all the way up to 84, 83. Not bad. Very good. So we got 3 good products there. All right, traders, we're done. We will catch you all on Tuesday. This is a 3-day weekend in the United States. So happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Everybody have a safe